Hello everyone, my name is Saurav Chaudhary and this week we are reviewing Wonder Woman 1984. Diana still misses Steve, who died in the first movie, and now she's working in a museum where she meets Barbara Minerva. She studies old stuff like rocks and whatnot.
They're minerals.
And she's shown to be not pretty and awkward, the cliche loser trope in superhero movies. Then shows up this guy, Maxwell Lord, and he's after one such rock because it grants wishes. Yeah, that's the movie's thing. And it's at this point that we realize that it's going to be that kind of a movie. It's a story about how you shouldn't give in to greed, that you shouldn't take any shortcuts, there shouldn't be any cheating. How do I know this? Because I'm so great at articulating a movie's theme? No. It's because this movie tells me what it's going to be about. It's all over the internet that the movie has two opening sequences. One is about her childhood and the other takes place in a mall. It's in the childhood sequence that her mentor tells her that truth is everything and that you shouldn't cheat. Just the moral of the story, but in the beginning. People say that one of these opening sequences should have been removed, but I'm not sure about that. Because according to me, the problem does not lie with the structure of this movie. Look, if the movie just blurts out the moral in the beginning that you shouldn't cheat and that what has happened, it's the truth, you have to accept it, and then it shows a magical wish granting rock, and after wishing for it, the protagonist gets her dead ex-boyfriend back. You know, his death has what has happened, his death is the truth. How do you think the movie is gonna play out?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
He's gonna die again. It's simple and it's predictable, but is it really that bad? Look, ever since Nolan's Batman trilogy, superhero movies have kind of grown up over the last decade.
It's simple. Kill the Batman.
He made it ultra realistic, and since then we've kind of slowly been going back to more magical kind of movies, but they still have a quality of being sensible. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy has much crazier shit than Spider-Man 2, but it's still more mature. And I think that is what's not the case with Wonder Woman 1984. Look, most of the reviews that I do point to the technicality of what went wrong in a story, what is working and what is not. But in this, the fact that it's simple is intentional.
Obviously, there have been a lot of amazing chapters in superhero storytelling, and I appreciate so many of them. But I also miss just the simple, very simple True North superhero who you feel like you're them in the movie.
In my opinion, I think Patty Jenkins wanted to make a kids movie. I'm not sure if that's true, but that's the feeling I get. And I don't have much problem with that. I mean, look at the new Batman movies trailer. I've watched it 100 times by now, not even exaggerating. And that's because I enjoyed it. And I'm a full-grown adult, at least physically. Can you imagine a kid watching that? It'll be a horror movie.
I'm vengeance.
If I'm ever going to write something someday, Wonder Woman 1984 represents my biggest fear. That you can have all this knowledge of structure, all this knowledge of pacing, use it well and still not have a very good movie. It does do a good enough job of making you empathize with the characters. Scenes aren't too long except maybe the second opening sequence. But the problem is with the contents of this plot itself. I'll give you an example. At one point in the movie, Diana and Steve are chasing down Maxwell Lord and they need to go to Cairo. She says she can't take the plane because Steve doesn't have a passport. But how do you know he has come back in the body of another man? Maybe he does have a passport. Instead, they go into a secure hangar and steal a plane. And Steve somehow magically knows how to fly this plane, even though the last plane he flew looked like this. And then, because you can't keep it bland, you have to have a problem, right? So there is a risk of being caught by radar, something which Steve doesn't know about. But then Diana uses this power that she has never before used, and will never use again, to make the plane invisible. And it also makes it disappear off the radar, even though that's not how radar works. I mean, but if you don't think too hard about it, it does do a good job as a function. Because this flying scene is the best way to see just how good they are together. We needed a scene like this to feel the pain that comes later when Diana sacrifices him. That's my major frustration with this movie. It's all stuff in the right place, but it's all bad stuff. The movie is full of issues like these. How did she wish twice? You're only supposed to get one wish. Is her being turned into a cheetah a side effect, or is that something that she controls? Is she upset about being turned into a cheetah? Is that the cost she paid for her wish being granted? How did Maxwell Lord escape after a wall was constructed around the city? How did he get the money to donate to a museum when he's broke? How did Wonder Woman find the secret base they were broadcasting from? Why did Steve have to take over somebody else's body when the stone magic can clearly construct matter out of nowhere like it did with the walls? But I'm willing to give it a pass. Why? Because this kind of stuff would matter more in a movie where they were at least pretending to be real. Like sci-fi or something where they want to let you believe for a second that the story takes place in the same world as yours. But the stuff in this movie is so out of this world, with wish-granting objects and people turning into cheetahs with no explanation as to why. Who cares about small details like the flight time between Egypt and America? What I'm really trying to say is, I have no problem watching this movie as something in its own. DC's franchise storytelling is not nearly as strong as Marvel's. And so if a director wants to try something new, why not? Maybe I'm insensitive about it because I like Marvel movies more, like way more. But if Wonder Woman 1984 was just a movie disconnected with the franchise and it wasn't releasing to an eager audience, I would say it's the kind of movie you show to your kid cousin who just dropped by unannounced and your mom is telling me to entertain him. That's as accurate as I can be with this movie review. It's a little on the bad side of meh. Thank you guys for watching. Next week we will review Soul and see how something that is supposed to be a kids movie can actually be very good for adults. If you want to see it, subscribe to the channel and like and share the video so that people you don't know and people you do know can see it. Click on the left to see my Tenet review and on the right to see my other Hindi reviews. My social media links are given below in the description. You're welcome to follow me there, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.